Good afternoon, everybody. Let's take a moment here to set up the screen. I think that's good. So for your practice today, you will just need your yoga mat. And then we will begin our practice in whatever position that you choose. So that can be seated or lying down. And we'll take just a moment or two to allow ourselves to settle in. And then once you're settled and feeling comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Nice and slow, in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. And we'll do that a few more times. Focusing on the sensations of the breath. Maybe the way the air feels cool on the inhale, a bit warmer on the exhale. You're noticing how the stomach expands as you breathe in, drawing in oxygen, bringing in energy to the body. And when you feel ready, we'll begin to shift our focus from breathing to your body in general. If you feel any aches, pains, or stiffness, we'll begin to loosen these areas, these parts of your body until you feel as comfortable as possible. And then we'll begin to start focusing on individual parts of the body. And we'll begin with the feet. And as you focus on these specific areas through your body, you might find that as you bring attention to these spaces in your body, you might start to feel a bit more warm or even more relaxed or heavier in these parts of the body. So imagine that your feet are roots. They're the roots of your body, and drawing awareness up from the ground and into the rest of your body. Allowing this awareness to start to spread up through your feet and towards the ankles and the lower legs. Enjoy the relaxed, warm feeling moving up your body. Experience how your lower legs maybe begin to feel just a bit heavier, looser than normal. Allow this awareness to spread to your knee joints. And if you have any problems with your knees or with any other part of your body, you can use this meditation time to visualize your body beginning to heal itself as you move from point to point, from area to area. Slowly let your awareness spread further up to the upper legs, into the hips and the buttocks area. lot of people find that they hold tension, particularly in the hip area. So if you need to spend a little extra time here, feel free to spend that extra time allowing this part of your body to relax and loosen, and just letting the energy and awareness begin to move through this area. And then when it feels right and you're ready to move on, we'll begin to draw that awareness up into the lower spine, just above the hip area. Taking your time to allow these muscles to relax. And then beginning to move the awareness up through the curvature of your spine, and all the way to the tip of the spine, which is just at the base of the skull. Relax and ease the muscles around this point, including loosening your jaw if you haven't already done so, maybe releasing the tongue from the top of the mouth. Just imagining your body creating just a little more space between each vertebrae. And when your spine is fully relaxed, begin to shift your focus to your shoulders. Maybe finding that you need to readjust your position, whether you're seated or lying down, in order to remain comfortable so that your spine is relaxed. Experiment with moving them gently into different positions until your shoulders feel in sync with one another and with the rest of your posture. Begin to draw that awareness down your arms and into the fingers, and just maybe noticing the very slight movements that the fingers make all on their own. And we'll move your awareness back up through and into the throat, releasing any tension that you might be holding in the neck area. Continuing that awareness to move up into the face. Feel the warmth of your awareness relax every facial muscle, all those tiny little spaces of muscle within the face, the cheekbones, the space between the eyebrows, the ears. And then finally, shifting your awareness to your brain. Becoming aware of just how amazing and powerful our brains are. The brain is capable of regulating our entire body, houses our mind, and allows us to think, feel, create. So we'll begin to take some movement into our practice, and if you're lying down, you may just stretch and reach overhead, maybe moving through the fingers or the toes. And if you're seated, you can do the same thing, just maybe stretching and reaching overhead, moving through the shoulders, maybe some gentle twisting motions. Whatever organic movement feels right for your body. Just slowly inviting movement. And so our beginning position for our practice today will be standing at the top of our mat. So again, just take your time to make your way there. No big hurry. So we're going to begin with some shoulder shrugs, just maybe up and down, maybe adding in circular motions, whether you round the shoulders forward or back, probably getting both. And then we're going to rock back and forth on the feet, just shifting the weight forward and back, becoming aware of the entire bottom part of our foot. that supports us. And then we'll start to settle into a nice grounded place on the mat with all surfaces of the feet touching the mat. I want you to spread your toes out wide and then setting them down on your mat. Feel yourself grounded, connecting with the earth. Nice tall spine, so you're aligning everything from ankles to knees, hips, up through the spine and the shoulders, crown of the head feeling nice and tall. On your next inhale, let's circle, sweep our arms overhead. As you exhale, fold forward and bend into your knees. Our first forward fold. Your next inhale, it's half lift. And then as you exhale, fold forward. We're going to step our left leg to the back of the mat. So we'll be in a low lunge position. Start to reach the arms overhead as we come to a high lunge. And then take cactus arms. Arms are nice and wide, opening through the chest. Breathing in. On your exhale, draw the elbows together in front of the shoulders. And then hinge at the hips as we draw the elbows towards the knees. Don't have to touch the knees. We're just lowering and leaning the chest forward. Inhale, come back to your cactus arms, open, and then exhale, elbows together, lean the chest forward. Let's do that one more time with the breath. Open and close. Come back to your high lunge, reach the arms overhead, and then we'll bring our left hand down to the floor as we reach up for lunge twist. Let's bring our right hand down to the mat. Three-legged dog, take your right leg high. So as I move into three-legged dog throughout the beginning sequence here, throughout the warm-up, know that this can also be tabletop with the leg extended back. Another option. As you exhale, step the right leg through as we come to lunge. Set your back knee down, crescent moon, sweeping the arms upward, lift your chest and your gaze. As you exhale, again, we're going to turn to face our left side. Bring your left hand towards the back of the mat. Keep your right leg down. We're going to take a nice long side body stretch as you reach towards the back of your mat. Maybe lift your hips upward. And then gate pose as we bring our left arm up and overhead, stretching, reaching, be long through the left side. Turn to face the front of your mat. Again, three-legged dog, right leg high. Reminder, this can be tabletop with the right leg extended back. As you bring the right leg through again, we'll move into a variation of pigeon pose. We're going to take the right leg across the top of the mat. Go ahead and bend the back leg so it's not extended back behind you. We're going to fold forward over the right leg. Pause here for just a moment, opening into our outer right hip. And then move back to three-legged dog. Again, right leg high. As you exhale, we step through to lunge. Stepping to the top of the mat, chair pose. So you inhale to reach up tall mountain. Exhale, fold forward. And step back to plank. Plank or kneeling plank. Go ahead and set the knees down. We're going to lower all the way down to our belly. For Sphinx pose, we set the shoulders over top of the elbows. Gentle press of the feet, tops of the feet into the mat, drawing the elbows towards the chest. Keeping the forearms down, we're going to lift up for forearm plank. And then plank pose. Again, this can all be kneeling. And downward facing dog. Let's take a walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. As you inhale, circle, sweep the arms around mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step our right leg to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Reach the arms up high for high lunge. Cactus arms, open the chest. Draw the elbows together. Lower the chest down. So we follow the breath here as we find a bit of flow. Open. And bring it in. Let's do that one more time. And back to high lunge, reach the arms overhead. And then bringing our right hand down to the mat, lunge, twist. Left arm reaches up. Three-legged dog or tabletop with the left leg extended behind you. And then step the left leg through to lunge. Setting the right knee down, crescent moon. And then we'll start to turn to face our right side as we bring our right hand towards the back of the mat. We'll be in this kneeling side plank variation with a stretch, stretching out the left side of the body. So lift your hips upward. And gate pose, stretch out the opposite side. Turn to face the front of the mat. Three-legged dog as we take the left leg high. You exhale, we bring the left leg through for pigeon pose variation. We set the left leg across the top of the mat. Go ahead and bend the back leg, and then we'll fold forward over this front leg. And then three-legged dog as we take our left leg high again. Step through to the top of the mat, lunge. And then let's step up to chair pose. Mountain pose, reach up tall. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to plank. And then we'll set the knees down and lower all the way down to the belly for Sphinx pose. And then forearm plank. Press up to plank. And downward facing dog. So as you come into your downward facing dog, maybe you'll choose to take another vinyasa or two. Maybe you'll choose to hold downward dog. Maybe you'll come down to child's pose. Just check in with your practice and take note if you feel like you need more work today. Maybe move through a couple of vinyasas. Maybe hold a plank. Downward dog can be a nice neutral position. And child's pose is a great place to rest. So we're going to spend another few minutes wherever you need to be in your practice. And so from either child's pose, downward dog, or wherever you are, we're going to come to the top of our mat. We'll come to a standing position. On your next inhale breath, let's circle, sweep the arms overhead. As you exhale, draw your hands in towards your heart. We're going to step our left leg back behind the right, and we're going to lower down into a curtsy lunge. So this is what it looks like from the side, and this will be what it looks like from the front. So we're going to find a bit of a pulsing motion here. Now maybe you just want to hold, but you can also move with the breath, lower down, lift up. The depth of your lunge is up to you. So you decide how low you want to take the lunge towards the floor. And then let's lift our left knee, one-legged Tadasana. Taking your right knee out, left knee out towards the left side. You can gently guide it open with the hand. Maybe use the right hand as balance on the opposite side. Then we'll step out wide. So you'll probably step off of your mat here as you step into horse pose. Stepping out wide towards your left. We're going to turn to face our left and lower your right knee towards the floor. So we're going to lunge. Come back to horse pose, facing the front of your mat. And then let's turn to face the right side as we lower the right knee down towards the ground. Again, in the lunge. Let's come back to horse pose, facing forward. And then we'll step our left leg towards the back of the mat and set the back knee down. Crescent moon, sweep the arms upward. On your exhale breath, we're going to shift the hips back into half splits. So as an option here, you can airplane the arms, reaching the fingertips back. If this doesn't feel good on your knee, or if you're struggling with some balance here, you can always bring the hands down towards the floor. Maybe even blocks here if you have blocks for your practice. Back to crescent moon, set the foot down, sweep the arms upward. And then tuck your left toe under. And we're going to lift the left knee all the way up into one-legged Tadasana. Taking the left leg over the right. And then we're going to sit back into eagle pose. Let's reach the arms straight up. So just eagle pose in the legs. Keep holding your eagle pose as an option. Again, you can airplane the arms and lean your chest forward. Back to one-legged Tadasana. Lift the left leg. And then we'll turn to our left side as we step into horse pose, facing the side of our mat. And then we're going to take side angle pose towards the back of the mat. So let's bring our left forearm towards the left thigh. Find a nice long reach. Turn the chest towards the side. If you'd like to take this deeper and reach down towards the ground or a block, you can add that too. And then just switching side angle to reaching towards the top of the mat. And turn the chest. Long reach, press into that back foot. We'll step to the top of our mat for toes pose. So you can have the balance here. Maybe the hands stay down on the ground as we work on our balance. Hands on the thighs. And then take the hands back behind the hips. And we're going to walk it back into a reverse tabletop. Let's draw the right knee in towards the chest. Flex the foot and press the bottom of the foot upward. Point the toe and extend the leg out straight from the hips. And go ahead and set the right foot all the way down on the floor, hips too. Turn to face your right side for side plank. Lower the hips back down to the mat. Boat pose. Any variation of boat. And then we're going to rock back and forward all the way to a vinyasa. Let's take a walk to the top of the mat, forward fold. As you inhale, circle, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We're going to step the right leg back behind the left to move into our curtsy lunge. To step back, we're going to lower down. Again, you may choose to hold. You may choose to lower and lift at whatever pace suits you. And then one-legged Tadasana, we're going to lift our right leg out in front of us. Elong through the spine. Taking the right knee out towards the right side, open hip. Again, you can use this left hand as added balance over here on this side. And then let's step out wide. So you probably step off of your mat on the right side, come down into horse pose. Turn to face your right side as we lower the left knee towards the ground, lunge. Back to horse. And then turning to our left lunge, lowering our right knee towards the ground. Let's come back to horse pose, facing forward. And then we'll step back with the right leg, step back into lunge. Set the right knee down, crescent moon. Shifting back into half splits with the option to airplane the arms and lean the chest forward. Back to crescent moon. So we'll tuck our right toe under, our right toes under, lifting the right leg into one-legged Tadasana. And then we'll take our right leg over the left. We find eagle legs, shift the hips back, reach the arms skyward. Staying right here in your eagle if you choose. Another option is to airplane the arms and lean the chest forward. Coming back to one-legged Tadasana, lift the right leg. And then we'll turn to face our right side as we step back into horse pose, facing over here to the right. And then we take side angle towards the back of the mat. So we bring right forearm to the right thigh. And then we'll switch side angle towards the top of the mat. Step to the top of the mat, toes pose, add the balance, keep the fingers on the floor. Maybe reach the arms overhead. And bring the hands back behind the hips as we walk ourselves back into a reverse tabletop. Drawing the left knee in towards the chest. Flex the foot, press the bottom of the foot skyward. Point the toe. Straighten out the leg. Keep lifting the hips. Go ahead and lower the leg all the way down to the floor and set the hips down. Turn to face your left side for side plank. Keep breathing. Setting the hips down. Boat pose. Again, any variation of boat. As you release your boat, we're going to rock back, forward, and vinyasa. As you finish through your vinyasa, feel free to end in child's pose. And let's come up to a table, top position. Stack your joints. Let's find some cat and cow breath. And we'll come back to a neutral spine for puppy pose. So we're going to walk the hands out, keeping the hips pretty much over top of the knees, and then lowering the forehead down to the ground. Go ahead and keep your forearms on the ground as we shift the body forward for Sphinx pose. Feel free to make your adjustments as needed. Pressing down into the forearms, drawing shoulders away from the ears. Gently draw the elbows towards the body. And then let's press back into a wide-legged child's pose. Tuck your toes under and walk the hands back towards the feet. We're going to lift our knees and move into an Achilles stretch. You're just going to round your upper body over the thighs. Maybe find a little bit of a rocking motion forward and back, maybe side to side. And then set the knees down. So we come into a tabletop position and we're going to find pigeon pose, bringing the right leg across first. So we're going to bring the right leg across the top of the mat here and then sit back into your pigeon pose. So I'm just going to sit back into this for a bit here and then just show you that there's so many different variations of pigeon pose that if this doesn't feel good for you, then try out one of these other options. But if this does feel great, feel free to stay right here, maybe fold forward any amount. You can always bend the back knee in as we did at the beginning of practice. And again, fold forward any amount here. Seated pigeon, same thing, crossing the leg over the thigh, drawing this other leg in as far as you need. And recline pigeon with the right leg across the left thigh and again reach through to the back of the hamstring. So this is all going to stretch basically the same thing. So we'll just spend a few more moments in our pigeon on this side. So if you're folded forward here, go ahead and lift yourself back up, and if you're in a different variation of pigeon, see if you can make your way to this with the back leg bent in. And then we're going to twist to our right. Go ahead and unwind from your twist. And then we'll just switch out the legs. Bring your left leg across the top of the mat and then send your, left leg across the top of the mat, send the right leg back. So if you're moving into this variation of pigeon, just take your time to make your way there. Again, the same variations, bent back leg, seated, or reclining. So from whatever version of pigeon you're in, we're going to come to the bent leg option with the right leg behind and bent, and the left leg across the top of the mat, and then twist to our left. We'll unwind from our twist. Bring the other leg, so the right leg across the front, so we're in an easy cross-legged position. Take side body stretch, reaching our left arm over to the right. And then fold forward. And then we'll reach our right arm over towards our left. Both hands behind the hips as we lift our chest skyward, open, breathe. And then go ahead and roll onto your back. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Go ahead and release our left leg and set the foot down on the mat as we move into half happy baby. So we're going to grab hold of the bottom side of our right foot. So in this half pigeon, you can keep the left leg bent. Or if you'd like to straighten out the leg, you can do that here as well. And then switch out the leg. So we'll go ahead and release the right foot. Set it down, drawing left knee in. As you draw the opposite foot in, so you can grab hold of the outside or the inside edges of the foot. And then we'll release the leg. Feel free to move into Shavasana whenever you're ready. If there's any additional poses or movements that you need to take your body through before you come into your relaxation pose, please take the time to do that here. Just relax for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Eyes closed. Gentle breath. So we'll just begin to awaken from our Shavasana breath, maybe movement. If you need more time for relaxation, always feel free to take that time. And close our practice with a breath together. Nice big inhale and exhale. Namaste.